Good evening, Reach member, and welcome to Reach Online. This is the way that we've decided to meet with you for the next couple of weeks until things normalize in our country again. So we hope that you will join us every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock in your relative WhatsApp groups as we discuss topics each week. These topics will be sent out via video or audio, whichever suits your best data needs. Friends, we know the importance of being connected in a time such as this. We know that we need to continue with group work. We need to continue being a support structure for one another. And the best way that we can do this is on social media platforms. So we hope that you would go on this journey with us, that you would give us your input, that you would tell us if you're enjoying it or not. Be participants in the group chats. You can WhatsApp your answers in text. You can send voice notes because they also use very little data, and you can just engage with your group. We ask that during normal reach time from 7 to 8 that these topics can be discussed, that the group guidelines would remain in effect because we need to keep order in the groups. But we also ask that you would get into these topics and that you would participate in the discussion. Don't just let everybody else talk. Get involved. This is the normal time that you would have been at Reach anyway, so we ask that you would use this time to participate. So tonight's message is going to be a simple one, but also a hard one, because so many of us don't like it, and this is change. Some of us have been forced into, or all of us have been forced into a really big change when the government issued the lockdown notice and told us that we wouldn't be allowed to leave our houses unless it was absolutely necessary. We wouldn't be able to go to work. We wouldn't be able to go and visit and have fellowship with our friends. We wouldn't be able to go to Reach anymore. And friends, this came as a big shock to many of us, because we sometimes take for granted the freedom that we're given and the ability to go out and do what we want to do on a daily basis. So change sometimes is out of our control, just like this instance. But what are we going to do with this change? How we deal with change is going to make the biggest difference in our lives going forward. Some of us don't like change because we fear the unknown. And some of us embrace change because we like to have something different going on in our lives all the time. But nonetheless, change is inevitable, and we're all going to go through change at some point in our lives. The change might be for our good, or the change might cause us a bit of uneasiness or upheaval in our lives. But friends, as I said, our change is inevitable. So I want to share a couple of tips with you tonight on how we can cope with change. Because if change is inevitable, that means we're all going to go through it. And at some stage or another, we're all going to have to deal with it. So number one would be to think things through and ask, what's the worst that can happen? You know, we fear the unknown and we fear that which we cannot control. But if we ask ourselves, and we play the tape through as we've been taught before at Reach, is to think the scenario through, then we can really think that this might not actually be that bad. Or might things maybe work for our good or for our benefit. The second thing is to ask how much you can control. How much of this change can we control? If we look at this lockdown, we can control what time we get up in the morning. We can control what time we go to bed. We can control who we stay connected with, and we can control what we do throughout the day. Yes, we can't control how much we go out. Yes, we can't control the things that we do outside of our houses. Yes, we can't control the fact that we cannot see our parents or our friends. But friends, there's so much that we can control within the confines of our own house. The third things that we can do is we can accept that it's happening, that we're in this, and then reframe. Look at it from a different angle. Look at things from a different perspective and try and change our thought pattern. Where so many people are attacking the government right now, why don't we try and support them? Why don't we try and see that there's a greater reason for what we're going through right now? And friends, I'm only using this as an example. The change that you might be going through in your life may look very different right now. The fourth thing I want you to do is celebrate the positives. Celebrate the positive. Celebrate the good things. In this, for me, is I get to spend time with my family. I get to catch up on housework that I've wanted to do for so long. I get to connect with people that I don't generally have the time to connect with. I get to update some of Reach's stuff. I get to contact a lot more of Reach's people. So there's a lot more positives for me than there are negatives. The fifth thing I want you to do is to take action. Don't just sit around. Don't just sit around and wait for things to happen. You need to be the type of person that's going to go out there and make things happen. And then and deal with it. Come up with solutions. Come up with ideas of what you could be doing. Take action. Don't just sit around, because when we become idle, the enemy comes and tries to attack us and attack our thoughts. So don't become idle and focus on the problem at hand. Focus on each task as it comes and have a game plan. As I said in one of the previous videos that I've done, is try and stick to your routine, because your routine will be your saving grace. Still get up and get dressed for work as if you were going to work. Don't stay in your pajamas all day, because we're going to start building bad habits in a time where we really should be building good, strong habits to help us carry through. The sixth thing is manage your stress. Improve your ability to handle stressful situations. Friends, there's many of us that are not getting paid. There's many of us that don't know if we have job security. There's many of us that don't know what we're going back to when this lockdown is over. But we need to manage our stress. We need to practice our breathing techniques. We need to practice our grounding techniques. We need to read a book. We need to just be ourselves in this time, and don't let the negativity run away with your mind. It's okay not to feel 100%. It's okay not to be on the top of your game, but it's not okay to stay there. We need to constantly be working at managing our stress and moving forward and doing the things that we used to do. The last thing I want to say to you is seek support. Who is your support structure? Who is helping you through hard times? Who is helping you through difficult times? Get in contact with your group members. Get in contact with your family. Get in contact with someone you trust that you can speak to and say that it is getting overwhelming or that it's getting difficult. Friends, you're not in this alone. Seek your support groups and know who is there for you in a time like this. We shouldn't go through this alone. Even though distantly we're apart, spiritually we're still together. It's just a phone call away or a WhatsApp away or a message away for someone to help us and get us through this. So friends, I really hope that you enjoy your group tonight, that you discuss this topic of change and what's changed in your life and what you see. And I want to leave you with one last thought. Event plus response equals outcome. This is the event in our life. This lockdown is the event. This is our change. How are you going to respond to it to get the outcome that you desire? Because the event doesn't equal the outcome. The event plus your response to the event is going to equal your outcome. I hope you enjoy your group, friends, and we'll chat again next week.